Yeah, for sure. I'll be honest. I just want to see Techno play. I'm already a big fan. He's been probably my favorite player of this entire event, purely based on the fact that he is, I still believe, 16 years of age. Someone who's come in as a stand-in and has by far. Do you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say he's looked like the best player from his country. I don't think Tiger have particularly impressed me. I don't think the rest of Checkmate have particularly impressed me. But Techno, he's looked like a well-grounded individual, someone I think that should definitely be picked up permanently, either by Checkmate or even by Tiger. I think he'd make a great addition to this team. And for someone so young, that's not normally something you see more of the Ronins, like where they're crazy high individual skill, and that's not been the case with him. Like he's got the skill, but he's also got the mentality to be able to hold a sight. And as I said, I've been very impressed with what I've seen from him so far. So let's go Techno. There you go. Even has a wonderful chant.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Techno's been that god tier stand-in coming into this lineup. We didn't know what to expect from him. Obviously, even slotting into new roles is going to be difficult. We didn't know much about him. He didn't even have a HLTV page before this tournament right here. But now he's on everyone's radar because this guy has been delivering for such a young player, thrust into a lineup at the last second. I'm thoroughly impressed. But over towards the Invictus side, there's certainly a lot to talk about. You've got the likes of Flying, who I don't think has been on the same staple performance that we've seen from him in the previous PAL series. So certainly a lot to be improved on there. We've had Viva, a little bit slow to start. Xiao Sage, though, from day one, this guy's been carrying them through a lot of their matchups, actually. There was games where he was the only player on double digits. And I think seeing him step up is, on the one hand, fantastic. But on the other hand, if he could match that with the rest of his team turning up, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think the only person who's sort of been bitterly disappointing for me has been Destroyer. I think that he's had some good games. Don't get me wrong, but it just seems like for someone who should be one of the more experienced people within the scene, he plays some. I'm just gonna say brain dead Counter Strike.
Mhm.
Like like when we were watching that Mirage game, he was just making solo plays that basically, if it worked, he gets a multi frag. If it doesn't, he gives them a gun. Even in eco rounds, it was just silly. And then there's peaks on this map as well that he takes with the AWP, especially on the T side, that just make me bitterly uncomfortable. Even on the CT side, he'll re-aggress in places he really shouldn't. So I'm hoping we see a little bit more of a calm and collected performance today. They've said they're watching their demos. I'll be honest, thus far, I'm not sure if I've seen massive improvements because of that. So hopefully they've gone back and seen something over the last couple of days. This match, though, I almost want them to play a little bit overconfident because they should batter Checkmate.
Yeah, I think individually there's not many players on Checkmate that can match up, and one of them's already deleted. Techno's been deleted, but Viva went straight around the corner looking for extra aggression on Banana, knowing they were up the top, and they just held it, waiting for it. A good capitalization by Checkmate on the over-aggression of Invictus early on, and now they run into a 2 versus 2 fight on B, as Destroyer and Xiaosage pick up 2 quick kills, and what is that peak, dude? You see the smoke? They can see your feet. You can't see theirs. Why would you swing on that? That was silly.
Is that smoke intentional? Because I've now seen that a couple of times, that one-way smoke where you can see underneath. I feel like it has to be pretty pixel perfect with the lineup if that is intentional, but I feel like it might have even been in the last Checkmate game where I saw that smoke land. So if they're doing that on purpose, that's a really cool idea to see underneath. If not, then of course it's not quite as impressive. But yeah, decent pistol round for Invictus. Not necessarily on the way that they actually played it, but just on the fact that they're better. And that they got some headshots through smokes. Like, as you sort of mentioned, the Viva's peak was audacious, I think, to say the least. And then the same from, I think it was Xiao Sage as well. So they get away with it. They win the round quite comfortably, but these are sort of rounds where you kind of look at them and go, would that have worked against Tyloo, or would that have worked against Vici? And the answer is probably no.
Yeah, 100%. It's not the kind of play you can rely on at all. And immediately you're seeing exactly what we're talking about in terms of the loose decision-making over on the Invictus side. Now, as you said, Tom, you want to see them play loose and confident, but I think there's a line, really, between loose and silly. In that previous round, we crossed well and truly over it. In this one, immediately Destroyer's been taken down, but at least there are kills returned. As we've seen Kaz fall, Techno and Blitz lit up quite heavily. And it's the only thing I will point out is that well, Shousage's mouse was disconnected. The only thing I'll point out is the SMGs. You know, there's a lot of them, Tom. There's too many of them, let's be honest. They came in with, I think, 5 of them. And don't do that if you're playing at home. Now it's Inferno.
What are the angles they're taking with them as well?
As long as possible.
I'll be honest, I don't actually mind this many SMGs. I don't think it's perfect. I think maybe having a couple of rifles is still the standard and still what I want to be seeing. What are the angles they're taking? They're taking, like, one of the angles, it never came into play in this round, but they were holding from pit to shore with an MP9. Like, it can tap, but why would you hold there? I think they're going to get away with this round, though. I'll be honest. Bottle, he's already on 3 kills. He's been saving them here. Okay, he just goes wide, swinging into the site. He's got flying. Eventually looking to clean things up. He's got a kit. He just needs a bullet. They're going to get away with that. And with that many SMGs, although this isn't a good round, it's an okay round because a couple of the players will have made a lot of money. But yeah, that said, I don't necessarily disagree with the weaponry choice. I disagree heavily with the positions. I think the only position where I think that the gun actually made sense was Jiaosage's, and he was asleep.
Yeah, well, 100%. Yeah, something that Taco said, though, coming into this kind of economy update when we reached this stage was that it felt like if you invest this heavily into SMGs, you cannot die. Because look at the money. Any advantage that Invictus built up, economically speaking, is gone.
You need them as a bonus round.
Exactly.
Basically.
Exactly. And you do not have that, having lost 4 players. So the buy itself, it puts some conditions. And the conditions are that you don't fall asleep in Banana, you don't take long-range duels and get deegged. And unfortunately, Invictus came through, and they did exactly that. They gave every opportunity.
Thorin's video talking about how the current meta is the deny the plant meta. Because currently, if you get a plant down in any of the early rounds, you get buys like this, where they're coming in with the same amount of rifles, even though they just lost a round and had fully invested in the last one. Like, that bomb plant changes everything. And now Invictus, they're under real pressure. So I agree with him. I think, obviously, there's more nuances to it than just that. But the bomb plant has become almost too valuable in the game at the moment. Mop, Bottle. He takes the fight. Oh, okay, Destroyer. That's not what we wanted to see. Everybody's just peeking out. They're not hiding at all. They're not taking passive positions. They're just facing every duel that they can. That was 3 players, each taking an individual fight. Like, there was no crossfire there at all. Madness. One of the players is low. Beaver pushing him with an MP9. It's interesting he's pushing first, considering his teammate could potentially find a pick with the rifle before he actually looks to go in. AK on the ground. I'm sure he'd love to retrieve that. Instead, for now, just stick him in. There we go. We got there in the end. It seems like at this point they're just looking to save. And yeah, I'm definitely not convinced by their crossfires we've seen so far. Like that. I don't really know how the last 2 players didn't sort of combine at least a little bit when they were both facing the same way, but whatever it was, they didn't.
Odd little start to the game. You know, if you're... Excuse me. If you're Invictus, you see the problems here, right? Straight away. Having lost all those rifles or SMGs in that second round, you had to invest a lot into the previous. And it means that now coming into just 1 round loss, it is 2-1. The economic advantage is firmly in Checkmate's favor. They have got full rifles. 1 Galil alongside AKs and an M4. While in terms of rifles, Invictus can only afford 2. Now, CT side Inferno. This is going to be the least punishing side of the least punishing map for this kind of buy. You've got Deagles, you've got an SMG, it is perfectly viable when it comes to Inferno, but getting spammed through the smoke, well, that can happen on any map. And unfortunately, it's happened to Bottle, leaving Invictus with a 1-man disadvantage straight away.
Well, Destroyer is going to try and reaggress, and he's caught out by Kaz. Map, so it leaves Xiaosage with an awful lot to do. Flying here with the MP9. Good flashbang out from Xiaosage. A TK even comes in as well. Now he needs at least another kill, and he's going to get it. 1 man standing, and it will be Kaz. 3 already for him in this round. In fact, the only 3 he's got in this game, and he's going to have to add a 4th. Viva on the other side, making the rotation through. Smoke has faded. The shots. Oh, it's dicey. Both players actually missing quite a bit, and Viva eventually will get the job done. Huge round from Xiao Sage. Fantastic flashbang and a multi-frag. And while there's a little bit of help from the team kills as well in there. So Invictus do bounce back. But again, we talk about this man being a huge individual player. Well, he was even setting up flashes for the first 2 kills as well.
That's a round that they really needed. Yeah, considering the early start, I never like to see the 2-2 equalizer. Like you're given on a map like Inferno, especially, right? If we're talking Mirage, just 2, yeah, whatever. But Inferno, you need to capitalize on that early CT advantage. But what you need to do more so is build up that economy, get yourself in a comfortable spot. And oh my God, Techno! This man was full blind. He should whack Xiao Sage in the head with a bullet. The rotate has to come through. Now you've got a weakened A defense, no control over long, cause him flying to leave out short. With Destroyer watching short with an MP9, never going to be ideal. So he has to concede a lot of space and just hold for close apps. This is a terrible start to the round for Invictus. Attempted aggression down Banana that ends up costing them a rifle and any potential to find information throughout this round. They've had to concede long completely with this rotate around from bot. Oh no, please tell me they're going to flash flying.
Whew, okay. Techno made that one look very easy. Bottle, he's in position, but again, it's only going to be 1. And Checkmate, again, they look like they're back to that sort of unit style of play. Moving around as a 4, they get the trades effectively. Destroyer, he's dead here. There's absolutely no way he gets out of that position alive. Completely surrounded, and Viva has no choice but to save once again. It's honestly, so far, it looks like Checkmate are the better side, and Invictus are just relying on very big individual plays to even stand a chance.
That's a very concerning sign straight away. And I mean, it is what we obviously were worried about coming into this, because we've seen this be a problem again and again, but I don't like to see it. I was hoping that, you know, their demo reviews would come through to at least deliver a little bit of a better experience, but it looks like we are looking at the same old team. You know, Tom, in this position, it feels like a lot of the time, even you look at that push by flying on short, I'm almost driving them to do the right thing, to flash that player around the corner before he just wide swings, but it seems like it just never happens. They play this consistent style.
They did one flash in the last round.
They did a flash.
It's better than most teams. He didn't blind his teammate on the way.
Very, very true. Maybe that's what they're worried about.
Flying actually knew to look away from the flash, which that's next level stuff, Mitch. Like, you ain't seen that before.
I feel like, you know, you're going for that late round control. You've nothing on mid. You haven't spotted it for 20 seconds. You want to peek through. Chances are you could be looking at an op there. Now, in that early stage of the game, unlikely, but you could definitely be looking at an AK as he was. And if you just pop a flash on that corner, flying swings, Techno would have pulled back on middle. There would have been 3 players that couldn't react on short, and a potential 2 or 3K for flying for free. You could even probably get out of there alive. Instead, he peeks into an AK, gets one tapped, and now there's one player with an MP9 defending the A site. I just feel like we're so consistently in this position where it seems so obvious what they need to do when seizing that kind of map control, and they just don't. Again, the round before, they pushed down Banana. Where's the flash for that player peeking? You know, why is he not jump spotting? If you're not going to use any utility, jump spot first and see if they're already up. But instead, again, it's just this very loose style.
Well, at least in this round, they managed to get a kill. Obviously, more of an eco position, and Viva only goal here is to try and save, especially with flying having less money. Same with Xiao Sage, actually. Saving an extra gun would actually be integral to their next round buy. And it is going to be scoreline equalized. Checkmate, again, off to a good start. Maybe just having a bad day at the office at the end of last week. But realistically, starting to get a bit worried for Invictus. Sure, we haven't seen the AWP just yet, but that's not going to be coming in this next round anyway. And to be honest, with their loss bonus not being fantastic, I do wonder what sort of buy they're even going to be able to bring in. Flying so low on cash, Destroyer not even in a great position, Jalsage 3,400. This looks like another eco round, but they might just try and juggle the weaponry and give it a go.
Oh me, oh my. 3-3. As I said, I don't like seeing things equalized up early on, and at this stage, Tom, it's looking likely that it ain't just going to be the equalization. It's going to go even one step further and give Checkmate a 4th round. As you can see, just pistols in play for Invictus. Oh, they're just going to wide swing with this AK in a second. You can feel it. You know Viva's going to go out and take a look, and didn't wait for the jump. Oh, God, I don't even want to talk about this round. So, Checkmate have taken this one, and that is going to be 4-3. Let's, can we fast forward?
They're actually being quite patient. Even though they've managed to get 3 kills already, we're not actually seeing them just blast into one of the sites. They're waiting. I think they're ready for anything Invictus are going to attempt. This is just smart, methodical play from Checkmate. And from the other side, no. Look, they're so ready for anything. I'm actually enjoying what I'm seeing from them. It is a weird... It's almost like Checkmate are a little bit bipolar. Well, they come in one day and it's like methodical, calculated, they're patient in all of their play, and then the next day they're running into the B side without checking the boost 3 rounds in a row. It's like, what happened here? Like, how's that happen? But I'm hoping that means they've actually watched through what went wrong and actually started to fix a few things. They've got a lot of economy. The start they've had is fantastic. Nade's going to be dunking in onto Viva, and by the looks of it, he's just setting up to try and make a solo play. And they've got all the counter utility. Just like a round we'd see within, well, like Europe even. Just everything forcing him back, making it awkward for him. Taking banana control within the first 30 seconds. And Viva's been forced all the way back, and now he's going to get smoked out again. He hasn't been able to do anything, and it's purely based off utility. This is fantastic.
We're enjoying watching Checkmate, but I can't say the same, Tom, when we swap over, you know? When we look at the Invictus side, I think they've made a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes off the bat. You know, I'm gonna wait a while before I feel quite confident with them. Molly execute out, push through the smoke on the back of a flash. I like it. Viva's there to get one. Goes over to the USP, though, oddly. And ends up getting shut down. Jalsage good for a trade. Almost a second through the smoke. This is a good position for a retake. Don't go by yourself. Oh, you're just baiting bottle. What are you doing? What?
It works, Mitch. Look, it's tactical.
Why was he, like, he went to peek, and then his teammate comes along and he's like, oh, we're only allowed peek 1 by 1. Well, what was he doing? He just tucked in. What was that like? Oh, I'm just gonna, just in case they flash you, bro. Just in case, you know? What are you doing? Peek with your teammate, for God's sake. And as well, he waited until the second that he died to swing. It's like, what is going on? I did say that we've seen Invictus make a couple of mistakes. Well, you know, there's a few more for the tally.
But they won, Mitch. What do you mean? It was a good play.
Yeah, I wish they lost it. I really do. Oh, Ooh. God. Like, what are you... What? Why? What? How? Why? What's happening? What am I watching? They just... Were they going to nade down mid and they just didn't throw any nade? I don't know. 2 people peeked that as if they were going to throw nades and just didn't. Kind of ran away.
And the troubles in their life. Oh.
I'm so confused, Tom. I don't know what I'm watching.
Asian Counter-Strike, Mitch. We've been here already. The 5 days through. Plenty more to go. Techno going to be leading the charge. I like that they put him into almost an entry frag position. He's going to spot the man on the site, get rid of Bottle. Again, Crossfire's not really there and flying. He's tough to remove from this pit, but when he's completely surrounded like this, it all becomes too easy. The funny thing is although the B site have definitely made the more questionable decisions, the A site has been atrocious. Like, have they held it? Like, it just seems like B, they're not necessarily playing like well in terms of their crossfires and as a team, but they're just playing well individually to spray down these multi-frags. Whereas the A site, it almost just looks like they are three separate entities. Like, it reminds me of a game of Civ where there's like this small island and they put three different civilizations there. And it's like, although they're technically trying to battle versus other regions as well, those three are the ones that are completely separate. And that seems to be the case. Like, there's no teamwork there at all. Like, one player takes a fight, the other player can't trade. Then the other player is in the site. No crossfire there, no possibility of a trade. So then he dies, and then it's just flying going, well, maybe I should have helped out my friends. As he just goes down as well. It's a really weird way to try and play the CT side of Inferno. And that's the thing, that is what we talk about. Like, this map is all about utility, team synergy, crossfires. Like, we're seeing none of that at the moment from Invictus. We're not even seeing any of the sort of normal setups. Like, for example, oh, okay, let's take banana, let's put the AWP there, then let's rotate the fourth player over. They're just trying to play 3-2 every single round and make plays like this.
I'm gonna start a tally. I don't know if production can do this, but I think it would be pretty cool. It'd be an interesting stat to track. How many fights are Invictus gonna take where they could trade, but they could peek together even, but they don't? Because at the moment, I don't think we've enough space on the screen to show that tally in its entirety.
Oh,
good lad.
I've inspected your gun.
Oh, Hawks missed that one. Acceptable though. Dude was running like the Flash, and I think at this point, I was gonna say you don't need to hunt them down anymore, but they got plenty of cash.
Yeah, they got money. They can go for this.
For me, it's more about just giving them AKs for free. Like, what if you're gonna hunt them together. Like, there were two players coming down banana. I think in that position, you wait for one of them to come top mid and push together to try and hunt them down instead of just swinging in, giving them a 1v1 aim duel, and they get an AK if they win. Production just tags me. No, they can't do that. That'd be too rude. You know what? I'll do the tally in my head. I think we're on about 70 at this point. We'll start there and we'll move forward.
Like the classic starting at 70.
But like, you look at top mid 2 rounds ago. One player swings, then goes back. The other goes out, goes back. Well, it doesn't go back, so gets shot in the head. Banana, just there. First guy around the corner. Is there a flash? Of course not. Dies. Then the second guy comes through, and okay, you might think, well, that looks like a trade, but why are they not peeking together? Why are they not using utility? Why are they peeking? And there's so many questions. I feel like Invictus realized, okay, we need to take map control, but they don't know how.
Oh. See you later, Destroyer. He's not been having a good day so far. Flying. Now it's his time to shine. It is there's the next one. And now it's Bottle's time to shine. Yep. Kaz even gets TK'd in there. And that was not... There was no assist. Like, that was just... Rue just killed him. But, yeah, another round over. That A-site defense is one of the worst I think I've seen in a long time. Well, and don't get me wrong, Checkmate are doing very well at getting these entries. Like, on an individual level, they're playing very, very well. We're seeing just clean headshots as they walk in, moving as a unit. As said, that's something I'm enjoying from them. At the same time, Invictus are making this very, very easy.
Yeah, look, this is one of the few rounds where I won't actually criticize Invictus too harshly. I think in the other rounds it was a terrible, terrible hold from them. But you had those... Look at... I thought it was Blitz again. You had Flash come over for short. Didn't catch the long player. Okay, so you're thinking, here's an opportunity. And Blitz just one-tapped that guy on long faster than I could even register he was through the smoke. It was gore. Oh, here it. Look at that. That was nasty. And then a molly, a nade, and he was just wrecking these fellas.
At the same time, I agree with you in the sense that like this round was dirty from Checkmate, but we've now seen it 3 or 4 times where their A-site hold It still has no crossfires, not one. There is no trade opportunity in any of these kills. Like, no matter whether there was a kill through smoke or anything. And okay, Techno, I accept that he's clearly feeling very confident. He just ran up top banana. They managed to take mid control again, and Viva's gone down. There was no trade. Interesting. Wait, where did he die? He died down banana. Did he run through the smoke?
Yep.
Why?
That's another great question. One I can't answer, but it is a good question nonetheless. So Sage, okay, he's got one smoke going over. He's got his gun back out in time. That's a good thing for sure. But Blitz is too good. Now he comes into an op, though. This is where his life ends. Bomb down on the floor. Rotates are coming through, and it's all onto Hawk. He was nowhere nearby. They thought maybe they'd cleared out B with those 2 picks, but didn't count on that rotate having come through already. Destroyer can't... maybe he can, yeah. I think he can see the bomb from there. It's a little wider out than I thought. And so he's able to just take down Hulk as he swings on through to try and clear the angle. And 5-7 we go. Invictus. They got the round. I don't know if they deserved it, but they got it.
Yeah, that seems to be the case with pretty much every single round they've managed to win so far. I wonder, do we have the kill that onto Viva? No, we don't. I don't really understand what he was doing, but that seems to be the case with a lot of the kills that they're giving up. It's just like, it's so individually based. Of course, the T's have got plenty of money to buy back into this. I will happily watch them continuously push into this A site again and again, because as of right now, Invictus have shown zero, well, just attempts to even hold it. It's disappointing to me that even if you just had like a player on site and a player on balcony, you'd probably have a better crossfire, or even just peeking from the pit. Shot is connected, but again, middle control is gathered. They're going to be running through the Molotov. That is bold, and the bomb's been handed in. This time, they actually have somewhat of a crossfire between pit and the site. And look how much better it works, Mitch. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle. You know, I've started seeing people sell Christmas stuff, so I can call it a Christmas miracle. Hawk. 1v2, turns away at the wrong time. And there you go, Invictus. Who knew that playing as a team can win you rounds? I did, but...
Well, yeah. They didn't. At least they're learning, though. That's the important part.
That is so infuriating, though. The one time that, like, literally I was sort of... oh, if they play balcony site, instead they play below balcony and site. And then they're just nice little crossfire. Works wonderfully. Every other round, it was like, I will hide in pit, I will hide on the site, and I will aggressively peek arch. It's like, no. Like, I'm relying so much on just one player getting picks. It just doesn't make any sense. Just hold as a team. And the fact is that they managed to make this many mistakes and still get 6 rounds. Now, I would hope that Checkmate would be able to pull it off on the CT side, but realistically, I don't believe in that. Like, I think that they rely very heavily on Techno on that B site, which is a tough place to hold. And then the rest of the team like to try and play these gamble 4-player rotations onto A and rely solely on him. So I think if Invictus have seen anything of the match before, which, you know, they said they're watching demos, Mitch. They said they watched demos, so they said they watched their demos. Yes, that is true. And they probably haven't, but... they should. So they should know exactly what the guys at Checkmate are going to be doing, especially after they played literally a few days ago on this map. So either that or, you know, other than that, it could just be that people lie in those videos, but maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how much faith I have in Invictus's prep work. Considering what we're seeing, look at those nades, man, flying second time. He's just being wrecked by them, but they don't expect bottle in the corner. Only good for 1. It could still be a bit of a surprise play, this early flank from Viva, but he's been spotted out, taken down. Blitz again. He's been playing really solid. We mentioned him in the pre-show a little bit. Obviously, we give a lot of props to Techno for plays like that, but as the god stand-in coming in, I think he definitely deserves it. I think Blitz has been impressive as well, because this guy's entry fragging, and he's doing a damn good job of it. Tied up on kills with Techno, who's usually the guy coming in to trade him.
Do you know what I've realized?
You can't trade a guy that's not dead.
Checkmate are prepared for this game, Invictus or not. That's what this is. Because Flying has died every time he's played Pit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still playing Pit. And they're just nade stacking it or pre-fire headshotting him. Like, just stop playing there. The round he played mini Pit, he is in a decent crossfire and they win the round. And then he goes back to Pit again. And they just nade. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you would go back there. It hasn't been working. This round he's going to get more aggressive into the apartments, but they've already lost Viva on Banana. Checkmate using their utility well to just cancel out any aggression that's being attempted. And now they're going to go pushing back here. There's a bit of a slow trade. And oh, there's a TK in there as well. It doesn't really matter too much, though. They've got the B-site firmly under their control. It looks like Checkmate are going to get themselves a comfortable bomb plant. And realistically, with a Deagle and a UMP trying to retake this without a kit and only 2 nades, I don't believe.
Second time now that we've seen Rue take down Kaz. He must have said something behind the scenes that Rue didn't like. Oh, nice little peek by Rue. Now he is wrecking face. 3 kills this round, 2 enemies. And Blitz finishes this one off. That is 9-6 in Checkmate. One hell of a good half to start things off on their T side. And for Invictus, I expect them to play a little bit better T side. I think there's much less responsibility on their shoulders. Checkmate can't really get a finger on the pulse quite as easily. But at the same time, that was abysmal. And I said, obviously, earlier on that I expected this to be a very close game, a very close map, specifically, because Invictus, they kind of suck on this map. I really don't see any way to favor Checkmate on Nuke. I don't see any way they take that game, but from what we've seen of Inferno so far, this is somewhere, if I was Invictus, I'd be even considering deleting this from my map pool because they just have no idea how to play this.
Well, going on to the T side, I feel like I have a little bit more faith in Invictus here. I'm relying more on individual prowess. They've actually got a 3-man stack though on the CT side ready. Nice shot from Techno. As I said, this B site hold relies quite heavily on him as an individual, and the CTs have actually already pushed into second mid, so this almost has to be a B play. There's too much information on the other side, and the T's are completely unaware. The bomb's actually going to go pushing back into Banana to line up potentially some sort of smoke. They are going to go pushing in off the back of their utility. As said, there's 3 players here. This flank probably won't play any part as they are getting absolutely slaughtered. Rue, Techno make this look very easy, and Viva just trying to buff his stats a little bit. It's 10-6. Nice pistol round. And again, it seems like they're prepared for anything Invictus are going to be bringing at them. And that's the one thing you have to sort of talk about when it comes to underdog teams. Now, the match that Checkmate lost was to Bren. Do I think they went hard in depth about how they're going to beat Bren? Probably not. Do I think they prepared for the likes of Tiger? Do I think they prepared for the likes of Invictus? By the looks of it, yes. And when they do, it seems like they're a far better team. It's sort of reminding me of like a flip side level team. Like on an individual basis, they're not great, but it looks like they put in the prep work to beat some of the top tier opponents, and potentially about to be causing their second upset of the tournament.
You also need to give props to Checkmate as well for having the agent skins. I think they're one of the few teams that have been doing this right.
You're obsessed with this, aren't you?
Dude, absolutely. Even if you play default agents, there is variance in them, right? So you could see 2 guys over towards the B site, see a separate model then for the third one, you realize, hey, 3 here. So the fact that they are literally playing identical agents is it's perfect. That's what I want to see every team do. I think it's such a basic thing. It's like coming into a game and having the right M4 equipped. You just need to do it. This SMG up close. Techno! Oh no! The block came into play. Destroyer went around right up in front. Oh no, it wasn't Destroyer actually. It was Bottle that ran in front of Destroyer, tanked a bit of damage, and gave an easy double kill to Techno. They're right back in this round. Invictus now in a 2 versus 3. Rue, he didn't get anything done.
Oh, the scary thing is a rifle for flying. As said, he's not really done too much so far. That's so aggressive from Xiaosake. It was a 2v2. That wasn't needed. He clearly feel like he had to make a play. And when you got this man behind you, I guess it doesn't matter. Invictus, We've said it once, we'll say it again. They are winning rounds purely based on individual skill, and that is it. There has been little to no strategy in the way they've been playing. You could make an argument that maybe they're saving strats, but at this point, I've not even seen just like basic crossfires. Flying bails them out, but yeah, I'm not sure why they didn't just play more passive there. Like Zhao Sage just tries to aggressively face with a Deagle in a 2v2. No reason.
By the way, just seeing there, so the T side perfectly exemplifies what I was saying in the previous round, because you can see that they each have different colored tops.
Ooh.
It's a small point, but it's one that's important nonetheless. They've only got pistols for Checkmate at the moment. As we said, they can be quite dangerous when it comes to Inferno, and previous round Kaz got spammed through a smoke. This time he's out for revenge with a wallbang headshot and another rifle potentially to be retrieved. They should be able to go forward and get it now they've cleared out apps. Please. Oh, it's Hawk. So wait, why is no one getting the rifle? What? Guys? Just an SMG, but still.
Don't need it. Nice shot from Rue. And he's still going to be sat in the corner. His teammate actually just hiding behind the smoke. He doesn't need any help. He's going to get a second one. Zhao Sage, I'm not even sure what he just killed Kaz through the smoke, flash, stun.
Second
left
round
onto Hawk. Blizz.
Oh.
Wrap around from Blizz is enough. It's left onto Flying again. Attempt 2 at the same clutch. And this time, Blitz will win it. It is a bounce back from the side of Checkmate. There is no victor just yet as we get back into this sort of early round skirmish. And, well, for Checkmate, this could be a really big turnaround. They're now 11-7 up. We've seen an atrocious game from Viva. And as of yet, the T's are yet to really build up any proper economy. They can go for a buy in this round, but it would be a pretty sucky one. I'd like to see them just play the eco and get themselves a proper buy in the next round.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think this is a round where you have to just take it on the chin, come in and accept that you're not going to be getting all too much done, well, realistically. Viva's keeping 3.2k though, and I'm guessing then we're going to see the AWP come into play. Could be an interesting change of pace for the Invictus side, maybe a chance to grab those opening duels without playing as scrappy. I do love that they left. I think it was only a Mac 10, but they left it in the previous round over towards apartments, and it ended up paying off for them because the Deagle did the damage for Blitz, closing out that round. Don't know if he would have won it had he had a Mac 10. This is a nice little shutdown, but they do lose Hawk. You don't really want to lose players in a round like this, and Blitz went down middle. It's so aggressive, Checkmate. It's unnecessary.
And now the T's are going to try and work out how to try and split this defense. Techno's going to be left alone. Uses USP. We'll just get out of there. Not taking any risks. As said, for someone so young, he definitely is calm and collected, just trying to buy time, sat in the corner, playing a close range angle, waits for his teammate. Smart stuff. Could have tried to be the hero, didn't bother. 12-7, Checkmate. They're going to clean that one up eventually. And now the T's can come in with that 4-buy. But this has to now be a start for Invictus on this T side. They've let their potential comeback slip once already. They can't allow it a second time.
Yeah, this is it for Invictus. If they lose this one out, I think the map is completely out of their hands. Checkmate will have it shut down. Because even down to they'll build up a lot of fiscal security, and at that point, getting back into the game is difficult. Kaz, this is such an aggressive play. This man always dies through smoke, so I have no faith. As soon as there's a smoke in front of him, I believe he's already dead. Luckily, though, those nades are going to keep them back and burn up a little bit of utility on the T side as well. They concede control. They're going to go back in for this. There we go. Okay, Techno's going to be spotting it out for the duration of this round. A much better jump spot than what we've seen in some of the previous games, Tom. Where players have jumped so far out in the open that, well, they didn't need to jump. They were just standing in the open. And again, look at how passive Techno is. As soon as he spots players, as soon as he hears the AK, he's gone. He's doing his job. He's getting the info and he's getting out. Doesn't need to play for the kills, which again is very unique for a stand-in in this region, because this is your chance to prove yourself, to come in and individually dominate. And instead, he goes for something that I think is much harder to spot, because a lot of the time, I believe from what I've heard, people in this region tend to just consider your scoreboard.
Oh, Kaz a little bit caught out by the Molotov. Been somewhat of an execution, but the T's are stuck behind the smoke. It looks like they're just going to try and blast their way through it. Counter utility being expended. Good flashbangs from Kaz. And it's going to help Rue and Techno to shut this one down. Flying going to be the only one left. Pushing this man is a big risk. I'll just let him keep the AK. Just let him keep the AK. It's not worth it. This is where he plays his best Counter-Strike, with players walking into his crosshair. I think he's dead anyway. Hawk, good position.
Oh,
what?
He saw.
Are you kidding me?
He saw the barrel. How did he see? Oh, I had X-ray and I barely saw it, but his spidey senses were tingling. He knows this game so well.
Even
that
still, how did Hawk not kill him?
I have no idea. I think he was playing on like trigger discipline. He was like, oh, I can just line this one up. And all of a sudden the guy had his AK out. That was so impressive. Like, you can see Flying knows this game so well that even on the corner of his screen when he runs past, he's like, that pixel doesn't look the way it should. Like, this was nuts. What? How did he react to that? That's crazy. I don't know how he's done that.
Hawk has to feel like the like an absolute
John
fool.
Wick.
Oh god.
He's just being John Wicked. That's
I didn't even touch your dog.
Oh man. Yeah, that was horrible. That was actually horrifying. Because I can imagine myself being Hawk there. Like, that's something I do. Let him go by and kill me. Yeah.
Oh, here we go. It's looking like a faster attempt into this B site. Flying, just going to try and sneak his way out. He's been spotted. And eventually, Rue is going to trade the rest of the team a little bit far behind. They're going to try and come pushing in. Nice shot from Rue. First one, second one as well. This is clinical shooting. Oh, a bottle. A Deeg in hand. 4 players to find, and he's not going to get anything. 14-7 in favor of Checkmate. They look like a completely different team to what we saw just a few days ago facing off against Bren. Maybe we haven't given Bren enough credit, but it was a lot more mistakes, and they are looking like they've ironed those out. And while considering Invictus are meant to go into this one as heavy favorites, it looks like they're just getting absolutely wrecked at the moment. I haven't seen anything from their team other than maybe a couple of shots from Flying that have been impressive. I think that Viva has had an awful performance, and we speak about him being someone who's quite hit and miss, and even mentioned the last time they played Inferno, if it wasn't for him bringing them 2 or 3 rounds with just Eagles, they wouldn't have won it. Well, I think this is what's happening when he hasn't brought them those rounds.
Yeah, I think I'm done predicting Invictus in series at this point. I mean, they've just looked so trash. They're, in terms of their decision making, it's out the window. And I'll accept players whiffing shots, but come on, you know he's in boiler and he gets that much space. Just forfeit the map already. That's stupid.
He's just facing. Okay, Kaz.
Yeah, but like
feeling it.
I don't care what happens from this point. Like, they could win the round, and I'd still want them to just forfeit the game, because you've had one player die to boiler. Second guy quickly checks it, goes, oh, I guess he's not boiler anymore, and just walks short. His teammate goes long, leaves him for dead. Like, isolate fights one at a time. Kaz didn't even need to do anything special there. Look, first kill. Okay, then what happens here? Viva just goes, oh, I bet it's clear, it's grand. Looks away. Where's his teammate? He's going up long. You've already got control of long. 2 players have already run up there. Why are you securing long when you don't have boiler? It's just stupid. Go with the bomb. That's moronic levels of Counter-Strike.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
GG.
they've given up.
You completely deserve this loss, Invictus. I've never been so angry in my life. Like, if I was,
you have. Literally a few days ago.
Day. if I honestly, like,
no. Oh, I thought he was gonna get another one through the smoke.
They've just. I could spend an hour watching that round back, and I would gradually get more and